Hello, I'm Crickets, and welcome back to I Have a Story. I'm sharing my childhood experiences and trying to get those out of the way here on My Life Monday. And another one I'd like to share with you is my next door neighbor. He lived two doors down from me, and he was burnt head to toe. Now, the story is that there was a house fire, and he ran in to try to save the people and got stuck in the house and was basically third-degree burns from head to toe. Mr. Bubble, come here, buddy. Come here. Come on. Oh, Mr. Bubbles just came in from outside, and he has got to learn that it's cold out in the winter time, so he can come climb in my lap and warm up every time he comes inside. Yeah, I know. So the guy's name was Mark, and this is part of where I learned compassion as a kid for people. I believe I've already always naturally had it, but I felt so bad for him. His fingers were nubs because they were burned off. Hi, Bubbles. His whole body was just a big scar. He was such a nice guy, and I'm guessing. I mean, when somebody has been, what's the right words? I want to say deformed to the point where they don't look human anymore. Um, it's hard to tell how old somebody is, but I'm guessing he was in his 30s at the time. And I spent a lot of time with the adults in my neighborhood, and I used to just go down to his house and sit and talk with them and hang out with them. It's also where I learned about, more compassion. The kid who lived across the street from him, his name was also Mark, and he was a couple years older than me, and he had epilepsy. And I know I've always been one to take in people who have struggles, and anytime in the neighborhood that we would play hide and seek, I always made sure he was on my team, and I was always with him, helping him. I was also, even back then, different as a kid where all the other kids just ran and played. We saw him have epileptic seizures, and I went and knocked on his parents' door and said, what can we do when he's having a seizure? And I learned as a young kid, I was probably around 12, 13 years old, what to do to care for somebody when they're having a seizure. And the sad truth to it is there's not much you can do. There's really only two things. One, you make sure the area is clear so that they can't hurt themselves. And two, you make sure that they don't swallow their tongue. I have a lot of compassion and care for people, and I, hi Bubbles. I've had a lot of experience and people in my life to care for and to learn those experiences, and I've always been compassionate for them. Now, Mark that had gotten burned, I actually saw him about, I don't know, it had to have been about 7 years ago. My son is a Green Bay Packers fan. And even though I talk about not supporting all this greed and corruption, including entertainers and athletes who make too much money, and yes, I know, Bubbles, you love me. I love you too, buddy. I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to talk, Bubbies. Um, I saw him. I took my son's a Green Bay Packers fan, and I took my son to the Green Bay Detroit Lions game, and I happened to see him there. One of those people that you can't miss. I always felt bad for him. He was such a nice guy, and he went into a house to save a family and got trapped in that house himself. Fortunately, he did make it out alive, but the struggles he's had throughout his life, I'm sure, have not been easy. He couldn't grow facial hair. His fingers did not function normally. And I'm sure people stared. Oh, I don't know what else to really say to this one, but that's a big part of where I've learned care and compassion, and I've had a lot of people in my life around me who needed that.